Greetings everyone. Welcome to this CAPF 2024 Paper 2 answer writing session. This lecture is focused entirely on report making, and we will be learning how to write a report, how it is to be written, what format to follow. Let us have a look. The aim of this lecture, why this lecture is happening, to explain basic answer writing formats, how to write an essay, how to think before writing an essay, how to collect resources in an essay and report. This is a lecture of three parts. This first part right now we are dealing with report. Next will be of essay followed by argument. So you will have three lectures. The format of the lectures would be the same. Their content will vary, and avoiding basic errors in the question that you are writing. Now, who this is made for? This lecture series is made for. This is made for beginners to the exam. You are very new. You don't know much about the CPF. You have just started and you are still figuring out your basics. So this is for you who are new to the conventional exam format, might be ex-servicemen or other categories, people who have cleared other exams or are in job but have never given a conventional exam within UPSC before. So this is for them. And for those aspirants who are new and also slightly old, who may have given an attempt or so, but they have never had a proper guidance for paper 2. So this is designed for them, and also for Hindi medium students who have shifted to English medium or who have their graduation in English medium, but they still find it very difficult. Now, the expected duration of this will be about 40-45 minutes, because it is report, it is a 10 marker, it won't take much time. Essay and argument might be slightly longer. So, as everyone knows, you get two reports to write. Both are 10 markers each. You have to write within 200 words. So, you don't have to waste too much time, because you have to write it within 8 minutes, and preferably, 8 to 9 minutes at most. You should not cross 10 at any cost, because even if you write within 8, you save 2 minutes for your essay or argument, which is of 20 marks, so you have more scope of attaining marks, because out of 10 marks the maximum you can score is 5 or maybe a 6. Above 6 is not possible in the exam. So out of 6, even if you write an average, you might get 3.5. Even if you write slightly good, you may reach up to 4.5. But if you save time here and you put it on the essay, you might improve 2 to 3 marks, while here you may jump by only 1 mark. So a very well formatted essay can easily push you to 4 marks straight away. So that's how you increase your marks: 3.5, 4. So a good format, a neat presentation always puts you at a higher level. Now, what I'll be explaining in this next uh, sometime is, I'll try to go a bit slowly. So, what is the basic format of a QCAB? What is the basic format you have to follow in answering? What to do and what not to do. Now, what not to do is much more important right now, because you are a beginner in the exam. What to do can be improved and matured with time. Now, this is what to do is not something you learn within half an hour, 1 hour. I explain something to you. So if after my explanation you write and you don't see much improvement, why? Because it will take a long time to build up. It takes at least 6 months to build up to a very proper level that you can consistently score between 5 to 6 marks. So, what not to do can assure you to rise from your 1 or 2 marks until 4 right now. So, that is a good jump you will see. What to do, I will explain. This is not a very advanced lecture, this is designed for beginners. I will take another lecture in some time, which will be focused on advanced tactics and how to secure higher marks in paper 2. That will be for veteran aspirants or those who have written paper 2 before but not able to secure more than 70 marks. So I will be taking session for them. Before I start, I will give a brief intro of myself. I have written civil services mains previously. I have cleared CAPF assistant commandant written exam, and I have also scored 100 plus marks. And I have cleared CDS 6 times with a score ranging from 155 to 192. So, so I assure you that what I am going to be teaching you will be relevant to the exam and you will find use of it. So please stay with me and please understand these things in their utmost depth. Now, I will show evaluated answer copies which I have done from this, and also I will be explaining how you are supposed to write your answer copy so that it is not only easier for us to check but also for you to write. So that is one thing. I have been evaluating your papers for quite a long time within this institute, and so I'll be taking some from them, and also PYQ solved copies written by the CPF toppers and veterans. This has been provided to you. This it is freely available on the Telegram channel, and you can. And what I want you to do is after this lecture, I want you to take this CAPF toppers copies, and I want you to go through it, read through the reports which are given there. Just read it. I'm not saying exact question is going to come again this year, but you need to read it so that you understand what type of format do the toppers write. You will find 2 to 3 formats written across the papers. A little bit variation will come, but yes. So you get to know the different ways the answer can be written. So you have to prepare as per that. You need to follow what they have written because that is what fetches the marks and that is what is correct thing to do. Your language may vary a bit from them. That is your choice. It varies person to person, but you need to follow the format which they have given. In report, the format is of paramount importance. If you get the format right, that means you are going the correct way because there is not much to change in the report. What is happening in current affairs is to be put in the report. The data and the current affairs things, all that will be the same for you as for any other aspirant because everyone is reading the same newspaper, the Hindu, the Indian Express. Everyone is coming with the same kind of knowledge. The people who clear the exam, I'm saying. So everyone will write almost a similar thing in report. The only thing which you can assure for yourself as a beginner is that you get the format correct, and along with the format, you are able to generate some quality content to write with it. Not very exceptional, not anything too big or too fancy, just simple thing which you can write down. That is our basic aim in this. I will try to go a bit slower, I know, because I tend to speak a bit fast here. Okay, so now first, before we tackle straight into the essay, what do we have to understand? We have to understand our tools here. What does UPSC give us? UPSC gives us the QCAB. Now, what is the meaning of a QCAB? QCAB means question, come, answer, booklet. Now, these are freely available and can be downloaded on the UPSC website. So you can go to UPSC website, you can see the QCAB types, and you can download the QCAB for I think CAPF 2020. The copy is there or 21. I'm not sure. Yeah, but one of them is there, so you can have a look. I want you to read through all pages. Read through all pages of that, and then you will be able to understand what will come in front of you in the exam, because you need to be comfortable in the exam. You need to know beforehand what is going to happen with you, what paper you are going to get, how many pages does that QCAB contain, what are the instructions written on the QCAB. Everything you should know beforehand. Why? Because this is the tool. This is the thing which examiner sees. Examiner does not know how hard you have worked. Examiner does not know what efforts you have taken to prepare. Examiner doesn't know anything. He just sees a bunch of words written in front of him. Now he decides if it is good or not. Decides if it is relevant or not. It is entirely up to him, and it is your duty to convince him that what he is doing is correct and what you are answering is correct. So you have to read through the pages. Now, one thing you will notice here that all the QCAP pages, the UPSC page is not an A4 page. UPSC pages are shorter than A4 page, and there are two margins on the right hand side. I'll show right now. There are two margins on the right hand side, and that has to be taken care of. You cannot cross the margin. Now, this is the official size of the UPSC paper, 16 by 23 centimeter. This is the size where you are able to write. This 16 by 23 is the writing size, not the size of the paper. Writing size. Okay. Now, how do you achieve the size in daily practice? A4 with 1 inch reduction on 4 sides. Now, this is your A4 page. Okay. Now, what you do is you take this, you put 1 inch here, you put 1 inch here, you put 1 inch here, and you put 1 inch here. So now you have what? You have your 23 centimeter and you have your 16 centimeter. So you have your sizes in front of you. Sorry, it will come the other way. Yeah, yeah. So it will come. So you have to reduce 1 inch on all four sides. So this will be 1 inch and this will be 1 inch. Yeah. So this is how you will do. Now what is the why I am asking you to do this? Now that is a very important question. Why should I do it? I mean, many aspirants ask me, candidates ask me that, sir, why are we doing this? I say that this is what you will face in the exam. Writing, the presentation, the structure, the size, everything matters in the exam, and you need to be prepared for that. Suppose you write in a blank A4 page, you write in a blank A4 page, and you write from the end to end, you write the entire thing, and you cram up the page until the very last edge, and then you say that, sir, I am not able to fill 2 pages in the exam. How will I write it? Because you are not writing as per the size of the UPSC. You have to follow this, you have to get into the practice of this. And another benefit which I feel is that you have space in all the four margins for you to write your comments after. After you have written, you read your own report and you can write your comments that, see, in this segment, I have done this thing wrong, or this segment, I can add this. And not only that, as an evaluator, also, I have more space to write comments that, see, you can do this, you can do that. So it is comfortable for me as well as for you. So you are more prepared because in the report you have 2 pages. You have to keep in mind. You get 2 pages only. And if you strike out, if you commit any mistake, you don't have the space to correct it and rewrite it. So there are 2 pages for you of 16 by 23 size. So you have to space out your paragraphs, that you write 3 paragraphs here, 3 paragraphs in the next page. Then only you will be able to complete the 2 pages entirely. You have to write 200 words, you have to write it in 2 pages. Now if you cram up 150 words and you write 50 words in the second page, suppose this is the second page over here. Okay, this, yeah. Suppose this is your second page, this is your first page on the left, second page on the right. You wrote 150 words here and you wrote 50 words here and you covered it up within this segment. Now your now your second half is entirely blank. So what did you achieve by this? I'm asking. If you leave this entire segment blank, the examiner will think you did not write properly or you did not space out properly. You have to leave spaces. You have to write in such a way that you reach 200 to you do not leave the space blank. You complete up to the last. And if you have less content in a report, which may very well happen, you have to finish within 1.5 pages. If you write shorter than 1.5 pages, it does not bode you well. It is not good. So that you have to take in mind. Next thing is you have to write in unruled pages. You Many students take ruled copies and then they start writing. Now, if you are a beginner to writing, and I have seen some copies where students write like this. See, they are writing tedha, like inclined. Now, if you are writing like this, then I would suggest two things to correct this. First thing, you may take ruled copies for a while. If inclined writing, what you are supposed to do, you may take ruled copies for a while, okay, for practice. Second thing is use a ruler slash scale to correct. What I am saying by this, to use a ruler or a scale, what I mean by this is that you take a ruler, scale, जो भी आप कहते हो, whatever you say. You take that, you keep that in front of you, and suppose this is your second page you are writing, and you are writing like this. Now you take the ruler. When you're writing, you keep this ruler above your above wherever you're writing. Suppose you are writing here, so you keep the ruler right on top of it, so that you know you are not going cross. You write in a straight line. Okay, so that thing can be done. So that will improve this inclined error, which is happening with many. It happens either you go down or you go up. It happens anyway. So that is a thing. Next thing is, please, while submitting, you have to follow a format: your name, your essay, your name, your topic. So let me give an example. Suppose we are writing a report, you write REP underscore whatever your name is. For example, Rahul is your name, and then uh, your topic is suppose National Education Policy dot PDF. That is all. That is what you have to submit. You have to write REP underscore your name underscore topic, any short topic, so that we understand what is within the essay. You don't need to write the entire topic. Writing in this format is important and imperative. It helps us in processing. And second thing, why I strongly insist on writing the name, because you have to follow instructions, you have to follow protocols. Once you join the CAPF, you have to follow a list of protocols, whatever your senior or commanding officer gives you. If you are not able to follow a simple format as such as this, then it is a matter of big concern for you. So please take care. Please ensure to follow proper format of 16 by 23, naming in the correct order, naming the file properly, writing in the proper spellings. Those things are to be taken care of. Why? Because it is the small things which will push you from your current 1 mark out of 10 in essay to a sure shot 4, and with improvement 5 or 5.5. That is the progress which we will try to see in this session. So this session is aimed on jumping from 1 to 4. The next session, which I will be taking after a short while, after the completion of this series, will be on how to jump from 4 to 6. That will be a nuanced session for not the beginners, for veterans and other candidates who are trying to improve and who have completed their syllabus. Now, how to make a PDF? I know you're not supposed to make a PDF in the exam, but for submission purposes, since we are dealing online and not offline, I suggest using an Adobe Scan app. Adobe Scan is actually pretty good. Adobe Scan and Cam Scanner is okay, but yeah, Adobe Scan is very safe, easy to use. And along with that, you have the option to resize. With resize, you can set it to an A4 page. And whenever you make PDF, make sure to cover the entire A4 page. Now, next thing I will answer is what pens to use. This is a very common doubt. Now, you see, for in UPSC exam, the paper is about 75 GSM. So about 70, no, 75 is not, it depends actually. Suppose, for example, in some papers I saw 65 GSM, in others it was 75, mostly it is around 70. The paper is such that if you use a gel pen, it will not come on the other side. So you can be comfortable in using a gel or a ball. But whatever you use a blue pen. That you have to make sure. Do not write. I know you are asked for a black ballpoint pen in paper 1, but this is paper 2. Use a blue pen. Why I'm saying? Because your questions are written in black, you write in blue, your copy will be construed to be original. Like in banks, when you go to a bank and you sign a document, it has to be in blue. Why do they say? So that it's not a photocopy. Similarly, you use the same concept here, you use a blue pen. And if suggested, if you're buying your own A4 rim size, buy a 70 GSM paper, not an 80 or 85 paper, which is very thick and bold. So you can take care of that. So any other matter before I jump into the reports as such? Let me think. Okay, I have told you the lecture, I've told you, and the copies which are to be made, the sizing, the formatting, the importance of the formatting. the importance of naming correctly, how to correct if you're writing in an inclined manner, and how to correct if how to make a proper PDF, what pens to use. So now you have all the tools ready on how to write, on how to start off with your writing. With this is very important for you to understand. Now, once you have mastered the basics, that what do I have to do, how do I have to do it, now let us go into the report. So, I've taken examples from students who have written this. Now, I'm going to explain what not to do. That is my first priority in this session. What not to do. Why? Because what to do is very simple. What to do can be explained within a minute or so. That you have an intro, you have a body, you have a conclusion. It is very similar to an essay. But what is the difference here? Report is focused on recently past events of national importance, of national or local importance. What does it mean? Recently past. You have to understand the term recently past. Recently past means it is neither too old that it is history, it is neither very old, neither it is happening in the present, nor it is in the future. So you have to write in a past tense because it happened previously. That you have to take care. Second is of national or local importance, like your Delhi oxygen crisis question came. So that is of local importance. Your election issue or a democracy issue came, or a sports issue came. That is a national importance question. You have to speak, you have to emulate the reports which you read in the newspapers. It has to be similar, but it does not have to be exact. That means the newspapers can be biased, you cannot be biased. The newspapers will try to portray one angle very heavily. They will try to say only one side of the argument, that is basically biased, or they will try to use images or graphics to show their point in a news report. But no, you cannot do that. You cannot draw graphs, you cannot draw diagrams in a report. Please avoid those things. That is one thing. Then another thing you have to take in a report is you always start with something current relevance, something of current importance starting. That means suppose the topic is on Delhi oxygen crisis or something, then you have to start that so and so thing is happening. This is the issue, and you can introduce your own imaginary characters that so and so person is facing this issue, or he's in a debilitated state and he's deteriorated, or an institution is deteriorating, anything. You can start with something personalized. That means you can touch a body or a person, something like that. You don't have to necessarily start with a definition. That is not something suitable in a report. So that is how to start a report. The middle of the report will be your causes causes of the issue, that why this issue is happening. Yes, it will be the causes of the issue, and the ending can be the solutions to the issue, that whatever is happening in the present, that can be solved by so and so steps, government steps or local steps, and that's it, you finish it right there. You can write sources on that, sources at the end of it, but I would suggest you can avoid it if you are crossing word limit or time limit. Okay, so let me just take an example from here. Yeah, so let me just take an example of this candidate. He starts with a format. I'll explain this right now. He writes an intro. You have to write an intro which is very happening recently, very present, and or of recent past. Then you issue what is the biggest root cause of the problem, what is the issue, what are the consequences, what are the solutions, and there's the second page, what are the solutions, and then you can write your sources at the end. Now, What is the format you follow? This heading of the report will be given in the QCAB. I explained abhi that you have a QCAB in front of you. The question will be written here, okay? So you don't have to worry about that. Your question will be written here, and you will start writing from here. So the first 3 4 lines you will leave for the starting format, and then you can start your essay, start your report. So now, first things, XYZ, the special correspondent, ABC News, XYZ City, your date. Now, please understand this very carefully, mug it up. If you want to write special correspondent, it is okay. If you don't want, it is completely fine by me. No one cares if you are writing special correspondent. So, okay. XYZ is your name. ABC News is the report you write for. And XYZ city is the city where you are writing. You do not write New Delhi. You do not write your exam center. You do not mention anything. You can attract negative marks for that. Okay. If you mention anything personal or your roll number, you attract penalty marks. Now, I am not scaring you, but penalty marks is something which happens which is of minus 5 marks. So if you say anything personal, if you reveal your roll number, uh, if you write in the report or essay that I am from so and so college and I did this or that thing, now that is a violation of UPC rules. You will be awarded with minus 5. Please do not commit such errors. That is why this session is focused on what not to do. You do not write your city, your date. For now, your exam is scheduled on 8th of August 2024, if I'm not wrong. So you start practicing by writing 8th of August 2024. Now, how do you write it? You write it 8th August, comma 2024. Like I have written over here, 13th November 2023. This is the correct format. This is the correct format. Your 80824, your August 8, 24, any other iteration you think, please avoid it. This is the standard. This is as per Oxford guidelines on writing. So you write this way. So that is one thing. So you have your name, you have your ABC News, you have your PQRS city. You can change the alphabets, I don't care. But you do not write your city. New Delhi, Bikaner, whatever. You do not write your city. You write your date, and from now itself start practicing the date of the exam, so that in exam you don't commit any mistake. You don't waste 10 to 15 seconds thinking what date is it. No, you practice from now itself. We prepare ourselves in such a manner, 16 by 23 size, proper formatting, that when you go into the exam, you do not feel that you are writing a new topic. You are writing a new exam. You are writing the same exam as what you are writing in your tests here. So that is the thing. And naming format, yeah, I have to mention it every time. I don't know why, but it is something which should be followed. Now let me start with the mistakes. So I have explained you how to start, how to write the body, how to write the solutions, and finish it off with the sources. Now, sources is not something I am very much a fan of. You see, this candidate is already on the end of the second page. You see, the line is finishing here. Line is finishing here. He's on the end of second page. He's writing up to the last, and then he's writing two more sources. Now you already have no space. You have crossed your word limit surely. That is why you are so much in the end. And on top of that, you're writing two sources. I mean, the maximum you will jump is from a 5 to 5.5, and you are wasting so much of your time on this. Why? No need. If you are already above word limit, if you are above time limit, forget about sources. No one needs to know about sources. Okay, but if you write sources, let me tell you, PIB, perfect source. Niti Aayog report, perfect source. Indian Express, The Hindu, good. Niti Aayog, Your PIB is your first choice. Okay, go to PIB, Niti Aayog, SDG report. Okay, any ministry annual report, or any ministry annual report. Then you can write, if you're writing on an international matters, then you can write Reuters, the Guardian. You can write the Guardian. If you're writing something relevant to the US, then the New York Times. So that can be done. So you can change as per the situation of what you have. But PIB and Niti Aayog are your go-to things, because Niti Aayog SDG data is something which you will more or less end up writing. And Ministry Annual Report, yeah. If you're writing any government scheme or anything, then you can say that Agriculture Ministry Annual Report 2023-24. So that is something. Now let me focus on the mistakes. Okay, so now before I proceed ahead, I have explained you firstly the QCAB and everything surrounding that. Secondly, I have explained what to do in a report, basics. It is not to be worried too much about. You will get it when we start evaluating your copies. And in the classes, when they teach content, you will be learning on that. Your third point is what not to do. So, first thing is that this candidate, woman in science, this candidate started with a quote. Nothing is more fierce than a woman with determination, Hillary Clinton. Now, okay, you have Hillary Clinton, you have learnt a quotation. Good. But the very next line she starts is, in July 2023, India has successfully launched Chandrayaan 3. Now, the examiner is reading from your quote to the intro. The examiner is not thinking, okay, the quote is different, the report is different. No. Or the essay is different. No. You have to write it relevant. That is the first thing. Second, obviously, you have to write in a straight line. You see, this candidate is going like that, so you use a scale and you move the scale down and you get it correctly. Now, this naming format I have explained to you, the starting format, you have to be anonymous. Next is English. English has to be improved heavily. You have to improve your English, not to a level of Shashi Tharoor, I would say, but yes, you have to improve your English up to a very good level where you are able to express what you think. मैं अगर हिंदी में कहूँ, जो आपके विचार हैं, आप उनको पूरी तरीके से एग्जाम पेपर पर लिख सकें, इतनी काबिलियत होनी चाहिए आपकी अंग्रेजी भाषा में. For this, you have to improve yourself. You have to read more content. You have to read more newspapers. And if you get bored, you might start watching English shows, start reading English novels and English essay books for you to improve your language. The key is language in the exam, because everyone has the same content, everyone prepares this from the same books, most of them come from the same coaching, a bunch of 5 6 of them maybe or more, but yes, everyone comes from a similar teaching background, a similar like studies. So what differentiates between you and a person who is scoring 100 plus? It is the English language. And English language is important. That is why you don't have Hindi in the paper too. So you have to be careful of your English. You have to write clearly, you have to write cleanly, you have to write briefly. Now, briefly, I have said in the last. Why? Because that is something you will learn over time. That is not something you will learn on the very first day. What you take 15 words to describe, it may be described within 7 words more effectively. Why? Because of vocabulary. So you have to improve your vocabulary significantly. Every day when you read the newspaper, you note down what are you missing out, what you are not able to understand, and you see their proper meanings. And then you think that in internal security, I can use this word here. In so and so subject, I can use the sentence there. So you make your own sentences with those words and you keep it there, so that you know this word can be used at this particular place. That is one thing to improve your vocabulary. Now, a few things to avoid is avoid quoting people who might be controversial. I'm not saying they are controversial. Please don't take me the other way. They might be controversial, or they might be showing a bias on your side or maybe anything, but it is not preferred. Like this candidate wrote, launched in 1973, he's talking about Project Tiger, launched in 1973 by the government of India under the power of Indira Gandhi from Jim Corbett National Park. Now, okay, you're writing about Project Tiger, you're writing a thing on environment. The topic is Project Tiger, but you're writing under the power of Indira Gandhi. Now, he did not have to say it. He could have strictly avoided it. Or if he wanted to write Indira Gandhi, he could have told by the then Prime Minister. Avoid quoting, and the power word is absolutely wrong. Please do not write in such language. Y- Then, here again, this is a slightly nuanced point that the candidate has written. The Project Tiger was launched to maintain for their economic, ecological, and cultural aesthetic significance. Now he's writing economic before ecological. This shows that you are more focused on the economic perspective than the ecological. As a CAPF or a bureaucrat, you have to be more focused on a ecological perspective than the economic. As per paper, what you have to write in the exam. I'm not talking what is in real life. Real life varies significantly from what you write in the exam. So then another thing here, you see, Project Tiger started also to identify and to restore condition natural to time. This entire paragraph of about 70 words is within one sentence. He has not changed the sentence. He has used and for, he has used connecting verbs to add the to make he could have easily written 3 to 4 sentences in this of this, but no, he's writing too long. Now no one is going to read 70 words and then going to construe what is being written here. Construe means understand. No one is going to sit and understand that he's written this point and connected this. No, no one spends that much time reading a paper. You have to write short and simple sentences. That is why I say you read the topper PYQ solved copy, you will understand how they are written. Now he has also written in present tense. You should write always in past tense. This I have told you previously. Because what you are writing, Delhi oxygen crisis happened before. It is happening right now. It is ongoing or it is before. That is why it is recently in past. So you prefer writing in past tense. If it is something of present, you write in present, but prefer not to write in present because you are writing a newspaper report one day after the event. Whatever news happened yesterday, it comes in today's newspaper. So it is always in the past. I've already explained that you no need to write the ending source if you don't have the time or word limit for it. Now, what has this candidate done? This candidate, okay, he has taken space on both sides. Very good. What he has done is he has crammed up. Do not cram. He has crammed this very badly. He has underlined only two things. That too, Supreme Court he has underlined. I don't know why. Okay, and he has gone so long into a paragraph and then again another paragraph, and he is ending here. But no, you see, this line spacing has reduced significantly from what it started here. You do not do this. You do not do this in an exam. Like I explained in the starting itself, leaving a half page blank is going to do you no good. You prefer writing in more than one and a half, cover up to 2 pages, so that the examiner knows that you have written within word limit, you have answered the question fully. If you write within one and a half page, the examiner will know that you are missing some or the other point. So you don't want the examiner to feel that. He has not underlined anything in the report. Now, underlining in the report is not something of very importance because report is of only 200 words. It is not of 300 like your essay and argument, where underlining is very, very important. Not it is important in report also, but not so important. But it is always good to understand. Like he has underlined the Supreme Court. Now, I don't know why he has underlined the Supreme Court. What it is showing to me, what I mean to say is the principle behind underlining is that whatever, if I read from underline to underline, if I go straight jump like a ladder, then I should be able to make a proper flow of thought that okay, this three things he has written and they are connected. Because whatever topic you are writing, suppose you are writing on Project Tiger and the examiner is checking, he has checked hundreds of copies on Project Tiger within that day or a few days before you, before checking your copy. So he knows what is to be written in Project Tiger. He knows everything that can be written on Project Tiger because he has checked hundreds of copies. In hundreds of copies, he knows what sort of data can come. And if 50 people write 40% of tigers are safe, and you go and write 10% of tigers are safe with the same report, he will know you are bluffing and he will cut your marks. So do not bluff if it is a very common data report like Niti Ayog or something. So do not bluff with the data. And whatever you're writing, he is not interested because he catches one word, he knows what you are going to write. So because he knows the content which is to be there and everyone almost has the same content like I have been saying for the past 40 minutes. Next, this candidate has used I and we in the report. In the report, he is coming in response. He is giving a solution in a conclusion. Okay, he's giving a solution that we should do campaign to awareness, and they don't think before sharing. Now, this he's saying we. He's first of all he's advocating that use we. He's suggesting a solution like he's recommending like a government body. No, you're writing a news report. You shouldn't be doing such things. And you can't write IV, you can't write personal nouns. And they don't think before sharing any information and how will affect this. This sentencing of the sentence structure itself is not good. And on top of that, the suggestion which is giving is sounding immature, although it is not immature. The suggestion whichever this candidate is giving to counter fake news is good. Okay, people should think before they forward. They should do campaign awareness, but the way you express your opinion is of great relevance over here. You have to express in a mature way, in an officer like manner, because at the end of the day, you are writing to become an officer. You should be able to report incidents which happened on field within 200 words in very brief, precise manner that your commanding officer understands what you have written, why you have written, why it happened, what happened to it, what is the solution on it. That is very clear, you have to understand. Lastly, he is writing something which I don't understand, so I'm not going to delve into that. And he has also missed content, he has missed way forward. Now you see, this is a fake news, like a report on fake news. So he can start with fake news origin, he can write the issues, accuracy, bias, coverage. These are three issues with fake news. Then there can be a solution, IT Act, Supreme Court judgment. You write a way forward that do campaign awareness and do fact check, like PIB fact check is there. Then some recent examples of impact, and then you can just finish it off. That's all. So you can write in a structured manner a report, and yeah, this is a thing. Please try to read on the topic and improve. I know my comments can be a bit harsh, but please don't take them personally. Use them to improve. You see, I know in this entire while I might have sounded a bit stern and strict, but please, it is all for your best, for your improvement, for you to do much better. So it is our responsibility to give you the best feedback so that you improve in exam. As it is said, it is better to sweat in practice than to bleed in war. Now, again, now I want you to pause the video and I want you to think just a second. What is wrong over here? He has written his city, his formatting. Now you as a candidate can improve on this. You know what is the correct thing now. Then, what this candidate has done. You see, he has done this. 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 You see, he has cut so many times within one paragraph. I mean, it's like playing Finding Waldo or something. Like, see, lot of mistake. Why is he committing? The reason behind this is that he is not thinking before he is writing. He is thinking as long as he is writing. यानी यह व्यक्ति लिखते वक्त ही सोच रहा है कि आगे क्या लिखना है. This is not something you will do. Like I said in my first, how to think before writing an essay. Within your 8 to 9 minutes of time, you take 1 minute to structure your essay mentally. You don't need to write, this is not an essay. You don't need to write, you take your 1 minute and you think, I will start with this, I will give these 2 points, I will finish with this, and that's it. That is how you approach it. Then you won't commit such errors. You see, he's committing so many, it is not going to look good on his part. That see, the candidate is not thinking properly before writing. Then his English also is not very good. Malnutrition has always remained one of the serious issue for India, where everywhere thousands of children under fire. I mean, pregnant women and poor died. I mean, some intellectuals, please don't write intellectuals. Intellectuals is more for philosophical people. You write experts have even told to declare malnutrition as a serious cross out cross out world issue. I mean, some experts have even suggested this type of language, right? Suggested instead of told. This you get when you read the newspaper. You need to know what is to be written. Please use formal English with well-structured sentence and add vocabulary. I'm sorry, there is a C. It's hard to check on a computer. Vocabulary. So he has to improve his vocabulary significantly over here because he is not able to express what he is thinking. Too much cutting of words. He is not writing properly. You see, it has a devastating effect on teens in their formative years. Adolescent girls, malnutrition becomes stumbling block for them. No, for malnourished malnourished adolescent girls. That is the correct way to write. You see, he is not thinking. He striked it out. Then he wrote malnutrition, which is not even correct. He should have placed it properly. So that is a thing. And sometimes they die because their bodies don't remain in a position to endure pain. I mean, this is not how an officer would express himself. You need to be more mature in way you write. And this maturity is called the power of expression. This is something which I emphasize heavily on all my checkings, that you need to know how to express yourself. Your power of expression has to be phenomenal. You need to be able to express your viewpoint in brief, precise manner, such that what you think is what you write, is what the other person reads, and what the other person understands. This entire loop is called communication, and you have to achieve that with great expression. Lastly, as a concluding note, I will leave you with parting words, that is, to read the PYQ copies solved by the CAPF toppers and veterans, where especially I have seen the 2023, 2023, 2021, 2017. These copies are exceptionally good. I mean, they are 110 plus marks, 120 plus marks copies. These three, especially, all of them are good. All of them are 100 plus marks for sure. But when I went through the copies, I saw these three papers to be the best of the best, amongst the best. And 2021 and 2017, these two are phenomenal. I mean, I really like, even I learned a few new things from them. It is really good. It's really good. So, as promised, the expected duration less than 1 hour. I wrap you up in 15 minutes. I will see you next for this lecture number 2 on essay and 3 on argument, which will be coming out in another 2-3 weeks. So we'll look on that. No need to worry. We are here with you to evaluate the paper. As you can see, the evaluation is always proper. in prim format for you to improve yourself. So please take care. Please keep practicing. Please make sure to revise this video after about 4 to 5 months. When you have prepared, you have improved, you come again, you see this video in a more faster way, and you realize what you're doing wrong. Have you deviated anything from this? Have you changed yourself from the structure which I've explained here? Please do this. If any further doubts or anything you want me to address, please let me know back. Please let know the institution back, and I will be covering that up in my within this series itself. So thank you very much. Best wishes. Hope to see you soon. Jai Hind.